Hey, it's Leah Marlene here. Thank you for stopping by. We are talking about breaking free of the bad habit of people pleasing. Life lessons from a lifelong people pleaser. It's an awful, awful way of being. So I am in recovery now, thank God, and I'm here to share with you how you can break out of this so that you can have real freedom. First, let's talk about what is people pleasing. Well, besides the worst name ever for something, because it's not at all what it is, it pleases absolutely nobody. So it's people non-pleasing. But the intention is good, right? Because we've been taught, a lot of us, maybe you can relate to this, to put other people first, that it's selfish to put your needs first, right? But as a people pleaser, what happens is you put other people's needs first at the expense of your own. Holy cow, the sun is shining. Let me see if I can walk a little bit. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning. I'm up on a farm, my family's farm. And so I thought I would say hello here. Ah! But I can't be totally blasted in the sun. Oh, there's Sundowner. That's a horse Sundowner over there. Okay, so people pleasing is when you put the needs of other people above your own and at the expense of your own. So what can happen is this leads to exhaustion, complete burnout, resentment, because you may think, when is my turn gonna come? You know, like, I'm gonna keep giving to everybody, but eventually my turn will come, right? Nope, it doesn't. It never comes. It never comes. And so that can build up resentment in you. Hey guys. And so, Sundowner. Hi Atlas. Hi guys. Okay, now we're in the shade and we got these guys. Oh, they don't want to be on camera. You guys camera shy? You hungry? Okay, so you put your needs last, AKA never. This can lead to tremendous burnout and exhaustion and illness in the body. You can get diseases. Another horrible, horrible side effect of people pleasing is it attracts a lot of takers. It attracts a lot of toxic people. It attracts a lot of narcissists, a lot. And maybe you've had this habit of people pleasing because you know, have good nature and you care about the needs of others, and you've been taught from a very young age to put other people first, that it's the noble, honoring thing to do. A side effect of people pleasing when you're in recovery is sometimes that toxic narcissist, whoever it is out of your life now because you've gone no contact, you're really trying to take care of yourself, you're all on your own, and yet you feel tremendous guilt for doing what you want to do still, as if the abuser is there. One of my business coaches, mentors, Aaron Dowdy, awesome dude. If you don't know him, you can look him up on his YouTube channel. And he said that he had a narcissistic stepmom. He talks about her quite a bit. And his stepmom wouldn't let him and his brother eat. They were served cereal for the breakfast and a TV dinner at night, and they were starving and like growing boys, you know, in their teen years. They weren't allowed to have any friends. They weren't allowed to do anything. And when his dad divorced his stepmom and he had all this freedom and could eat what he wanted and watch television that he wasn't allowed to and have friends, he felt guilty. He felt tremendous guilt. That's why often people go back to their abuser, because they're like, just control me so that I can relinquish this guilt for enjoying my life. That can happen. So the abusive situation is gone and now you feel terrible for just having a steak or something. You're like hiding. You're like, oh gosh, I don't want anyone to see me pleasing a bunch of people who are vegan. Oh, he actually said that too. He was scared to say that he ate meat because he has a lot of like spiritual people in his following, and a lot of like spiritual people and yogis and stuff. Maybe this is like you, are very anti-meat, right? Vegans. And he loved these people. So he's like, I'm going to be vegan. And he tried to people please and I'll be vegan. And then he realized it really didn't work for his body type. And he got like emaciated. And so he started eating steak and he loved it. But he was scared to tell his channel that he's eating meat. And then finally one day he's like, you know what, guys? I eat meat and I respect you for not eating it, but I eat it. So these might seem like simple things, but this is how you can get stuck in a cycle of people pleasing. I remember times being in my car in college and like jamming out to some hip hop, and this girl, a friend of mine, got in my car and she's like, oh God, you like that music? Oh jeez. And I didn't say, oh no, I don't. I didn't completely change, but I turned it down. She's like, switch it. And I allowed her to switch it. People can be downright rude and they don't care. And if you're a people pleaser, you're going to try to change your music, your style. But then guess what? You're going to meet somebody else and they're like, I love hip hop. And you're like, oh, I just shut that part of myself down because so-and-so said they didn't like it. I hate the phrase, do you? Because it kind of sounds like F you to me. But I know a lot of people love that phrase. So if you like that one, adhere to that. But I think the philosophy of it is really be at peace with what you want and take it a step further and take it out of want, because that says that you don't have it, and give it to yourself. Give yourself all the validation and love that you're trying to seek from these horrible, toxic people, because the loving, wonderful people in your life will not only understand you putting yourself first, but they'll feel honored when you help them because they know that you really want to from a genuine place, or when you spend time with them and they know that your yeses are really yeses. If you have a schedule of obligations you don't want to do, if you keep saying yes when you mean no, if you expect something in return, there's a big likelihood that you're a people pleaser. I was working with a client the other day and she's like, Leah, you know, I want to be authentic and tell people how I really feel. And I was helping somebody and they didn't even say thank you. And I took my time out of my day to really help them and they did not say thank you. Don't you think I need to be really authentic and tell them that that was really rude? I said, no, you don't. Because see, you were helping them in an expectation that they were going to validate you somehow, but they don't owe you that. Yeah, it's rude to not say thank you, but you attract a lot of rude people when you're doing things that you don't really want to do because you're attracting takers. So by nature, you're going to attract a lot of rude people who don't say thank you, but it was your choice to help. Your choice, not theirs. It was yours. So don't help if you're expecting even a thank you. Now, when they give you a thank you, that's really kind. That's really nice. That's an amazing person. But you can't expect it. If you loan money, don't expect to get it back. Don't even expect it. If you can't do it, then don't loan it. If you don't want to love from a pure place without expecting something back, then maybe that person isn't in alignment with you. See, it's easy for me to love my daughter. It's easy for me to love her whether she says love you back or not, because my love for her is pure. I'm not expecting her to validate me as a mom. Now, when she does, it's amazing. I'm getting bitten up here. Okay, so I'm gonna try to speed this up because I'm not gonna try to please you and just be attacked by 100 mosquitoes. Okay, I've already been attacked by 100. I'm not gonna be attacked by 5,000. All right. So how do you start putting yourself first? And what happens when you do? When you start putting yourself first, let's start first with, how do you start putting yourself first? First, you need to check in with how you feel. As a recovering people pleaser, a lot of times you won't even know how you feel because you're always like, how do they feel? What do they think? What's going on with them? The minute you start doing that, go, whoa, where am I? Where am I? Take a breath, count to 5 on the inhale. And exhale, try to make the exhale even longer. Maybe count to 7. And then ask yourself again, where am I? And who am I? What am I seeking in this moment? Am I seeking validation? And if so, then validate yourself. I am loving. I am beautiful. I am kind. I am powerful. Tony Robbins has a beautiful exercise. It goes deeper than just affirmations. It's called incantation. You say, I see, feel, think, hear, and know. I am powerful. Put your name in there. Your name, see, think, feel, hear, and know I am, and fill in the blank with something really positive and powerful. These bugs are loving me. I, Leah Marlene, see, think, hear, feel, and know I am being attacked by mosquitoes. No, I'm just kidding. That too. But that I am powerful, I'm beautiful, I'm strong. And you have to keep saying these things over and over and over again to yourself so that you remember the truth. Then, what do I want? What do I want to do? Who do I want to be? Who do I get to be? And then any negative things that come up, oh, I gotta be awful because I'm not helping this person and they really need me. I gotta be a terrible boyfriend or girlfriend because my, person is gonna hate me because I'm putting my needs first. Nope. Flip that script. I am a loving being who helps other people to love themselves by loving myself. Or whatever it is, right? Flip it so that it's something positive and feels good to you. Start daily practices of things that you want to do. You, whether it's just sitting and having a cup of coffee, putting your phone on silent, changing the habits that are keeping you tethered to people pleasing. I know when I first started my business, I was answering texts at 10 and 11 p.m. because I was like, they need me. They're having a breakdown. And like, what happens if I'm not there? What happens if I'm not there is maybe they'll empower themselves. So setting up strong boundaries actually is very empowering. It doesn't hurt people. It helps them. And the people that are for you will totally get it. And the people who want to just take and abuse will not. They will leave. They will defame you. They'll make fun of you. They'll call you names. And you can just expect that. You can expect it and then keep validating yourself and loving on yourself, saying these incantations. Now, okay, I'm doing all those things, Leah, but now I feel really guilty. Yes, that's a byproduct of people pleasing. When you break the habit of people pleasing, or when you begin to break it, and it's a process. If you've been doing this your whole life, it is a process, okay? That doesn't mean it has to be all heavy and hard. Sometimes it is though. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna feel a lot of guilt. You're gonna feel shame. I was talking to a friend who's breaking this habit of people pleasing, and he was like so upset because he had done something great for himself. He had went and played for the day. He just went hiking and enjoyed the day and didn't look at his phone. And then he came back to his phone and he said he had like 16 messages and was feeling so guilty. He's like, I was just silly me. And he got a little sarcastic when I was talking with him. He's like, silly me. I was just putting myself first and enjoying the day. And I didn't make sure that everybody didn't need me or this or that. And now I feel terrible and I'm a bad person and just so much shame, guilt, almost regret for having fun. Now that seems weird, right? But this is what can happen. I know I've had this experience, feeling tremendous guilt for just having fun and enjoying your life because you didn't ask everybody's permission first. Maybe they needed you when you were off having fun. You have to do that or you cannot help anybody. I said, look, nobody is upset at you right now. Nobody. And if they are not for you. Let them have their own experience. You must take care of yourself or you're going to be on your deathbed wondering when your turn will be. I've shared this story before. I was working with a client who's 95 years old. She came to me. She said she had people pleased her whole life. She had a narcissistic family and she had been just doing, I actually had two clients like this and they were both, one was in their 80s, one was in their 90s. It's very serendipitous. And they said, Leah, I have been people pleasing my entire life. I always thought one day my turn would come. And I'm finally at the end of my life realizing my turn will never come unless I give it to myself. What are you waiting for? The most helpful thing you can do for anybody is to put yourself first. But when you begin to do that, if you're really not used to it, you're going to feel guilt. So what happens is you take on the shame and blame and guilt and all the abuse that the abuser, toxic person, was putting on you. Because only toxic, narcissistic people are going to shame you for enjoying your life and for putting yourself first. Other people who are up to big things and really happy and fulfilled in their life will get it. I had a client who's like a multi-millionaire. And I only tell you that because he had some guilt around it. He's like, when I started becoming really successful and making a lot of money in my business, people would shame me. They would go, oh, must be nice. Must be nice to make so much money. And he'd be out on the golf course or the Caribbean or something. And they're like, oh, must be nice, must be nice. And he's like, I started feeling so much guilt and shame for being successful that he became an alcoholic. And then when he got sober, he realized, I can't do that anymore. I'm not going to shame myself for living my life and being success. So he learned to not lie, but bend the truth a bit, right? So when he knew that certain people that he was dealing with in business or whatever, who really had no business knowing what his day-to-day life was, if they were like, oh, how about on Tuesday we meet? And he knew he couldn't because he was playing golf that day. Don't tell everybody all your plans. He would say, I have a business meeting. Nobody needs to know what your business meeting is. Maybe your business meeting is snorkeling, scuba diving in the Caribbean. Maybe your business meeting is a massage. Because you know what? That is part of your business. And any truly successful person who's not running themselves into the ground, that's not success, by the way. Success to me is success in all areas. Health, wealth, relationships. You have the finances, you have the luxury. I think I just ate a bug to do all the things that you want to do, right? They know, people at the highest level know that to take care of a big business, a Fortune 500 company or something, you also must take care of yourself. Otherwise, you're going to kill yourself. You will. You'll get disease. You're going to have a heart attack or something. It's not pretty. So yes, you're going to feel guilt and shame. Feel the feelings and go have fun anyway. Feel the feelings and do Frisbee golf anyway. If you're just putting off everything to just be a jerk, or if you're actually just trying to live your life and enjoy. That can be the best help that you can give anybody. So remember these 3 things. Don't help people out of obligation, ever. And you might go, well, what? You're a mom, Leah. Don't you raise your kid out of obligation? No, I raised her out of choice. It's so much more powerful that way. I was working with another client and she's working a job that she really doesn't like. And she's like, but I have to be there. How do I have choice in that? I have to be there. I said, no, you don't. You have a choice every day. I remember being in a job that I really didn't like. And one day it just hit me. I was like, I could just run out of here. I could just quit. And from that day on, the entire job shifted for me because I realized I had a choice to be there. And if I didn't want to be there, then I could quit. And eventually I did quit. But while the remaining time I had there, I was there, it was actually really pleasant because I realized I had a choice. You have a choice. See, if you're in this people-pleasing mode, you forget that you have choice. You think everything is an obligation, that you have to do all these things. No, anytime you catch yourself, so the second thing is, anytime you catch yourself saying, I have to do it, switch it. I get to. I have to help this person? No. If you want to help them, I get to. I have to go to work? No, I get to go to work. I get to go to work at a job that hired me because I applied for it, and I get paid for those services. And if I don't want to be there, I have a choice. I get to make another choice. And the third thing is to really check in a lot and often with what you're feeling, what you want. And then the bonus 4 is to do your incantations. Something else, I'll give you actually 5. Another thing that's really helped me is visualizing my dream life. And if what you're living right now is so far away from your dream vision of your life, take 1 or 2 of those little things where you're like, well, my dream is to just lay on the beach every day and do nothing. Well, do you take time, at least 15, 20 minutes, to lay on the beach if you're near a beach or somewhere and just do nothing? You can begin to give yourself the things of your dream right now. But the minute you keep sacrificing, hanging yourself up on the cross to sacrifice for other people, thinking that one day that'll amount to you being able to lie on the beach, no, maybe you will, but you'll be lying there dead. And then who are you good to? You can't help anybody when you're dead, okay? Unless you wrote that big best-selling book. But to do that, you have to put yourself first and take care of yourself. So I hope this video helps. From a lifelong people pleaser in recovery, I thank God for you. I'm so grateful. I will see you next time. Let me know how this resonates. Watch it again and again. Share it with somebody that you think it will help, not because you're trying to people please, though. Okay? I'll see you next time.